We lost you. Okay.
Okay, good morning. Good to have you all join in again this beautiful morning. My name is AJ. Jessica is currently on an assignment, so she would be joining us shortly, but she's already on stage. But I will just briefly introduce our amazing speaker for the day. Please, a few things to note. NTEP, as we all know, it's organized by Numful Technologies, and it's aimed to empower African startups with digital tools, training, mentorship, and at the end of the day, website for successful candidate. What we do here is to ensure you have the resources to be able to scale through in this kind of information and social media age. That is very important. You have the tools, and not only have the tools, but also know how to use them. We thought that's very important. And thanks to our organizers and also to our partners, we want to say thank you for this great opportunity. And without wasting too much of your time, I would like to outline a few things. If you have a question, use the chat box, post your question, starting with your name and also your location. We want to know where you're joining in from. That's very important. Also, concerning questions, the survey link, I've seen a lot of confusion and controversy concerning that. The truth is, you would have to watch the video either live or later join in case you are unable to join in during the live session watch. We are closely monitoring this. The team is closely monitoring this, and you want to ensure that you watch and answer the questions based on what the speakers say, not what you copied or what you think. That's very important. But that's the idea behind those questions. Take advantage of Africa's business to ask questions. A lot of you are not there yet. You want to join as soon as you can. Also, the Telegram page is there in case you are unable to join either of the platform. You should be able to join them. Thanks to Numpro Technologies, Africa's Business, Ubuntu Soft EU, we have EduZam and Actually's Collection for sponsoring this program. And thanks to all the participants, I want to say congratulations if you have made it this far. Uh, Congratulations. And thanks to Jessica is on board, our host, Mrs. Osla from Europe. Thank you for joining in. And to our amazing speaker for the day, Ambassador Mary Ben Omolo is the Vice President of the AFYEF of the After Young Entrepreneurship Federation, an NGO, of course, that focuses on mobilizing youth. Her profile has been read so many times. Beyond that, she is one of the top 40 under 40 Africans Award winner. She's also the top 35 under 35 Kenya Award winner. Her list will go on and on. It will continue to read, trust me. So you want to check ntep.nonpro.com where you made this application. You will read a long profile of hers. And because of time, I would hand this mic over to Ambassador Mary. Thank you so much for joining in today. We are happy to have you join in to take us on mental health and entrepreneurship because this is a great topic and I welcome you. Good to have you joining today. Over to you.
And, and thank you very much, AJ Smart, and even to sponsors. I really appreciate being here today. And we're going to learn, or rather, we're going to go through a topic that is very close to my heart, that is mental health and entrepreneurship. A lot has been said about mental health, a lot has been said about entrepreneurs, but we, being an African country, we have one perspective. We normally say that mental health is not an African business. It's not our problem, but it is our problem. It is our business. We've seen a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of our friends, sisters, employers, name them all, commit suicide. So let me show you something that I've prepared for us today. And my profile has already been read. And before I even state about the importance of mental health, there is a difference between mental health and mental health illnesses. What is mental health? Mental health is the state of our mind, is the state of our mind. It's just like physical health. Are you in physical health? Physically, you're healthy from your head to your toe, no broken bones, no damages. You're eating healthy, you're working out. That is physical health, but this is mental health. So, what is mental health illnesses? Now, mental health illnesses are illnesses that affect our mental state. Those are things like schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, mood disorder, overeating is also a mental health illness. So today, let me show you something. Most of the time, we see people getting into entrepreneurship and we desire to be in that state, but we don't understand what why is it important. We don't understand the importance of entrepreneurship, what covers entrepreneurs, what makes entrepreneurs stay healthy. Because one thing about entrepreneurship, it is you who determines how much you make, how much you earn, how many employees are you going to get, what kind of business contracts are you going to sign, who's taking care of you, who's paying your bills, who's doing everything. That is what entails being an entrepreneur. How are you handling your community or society? What kind of difference are you making there? So a lot of us get into entrepreneurship with the mindset that I'm gonna make money and this is what you're gonna do. You've gone to Maldives or you've seen Mary Ben in Tanzania or Nigeria or South Africa. Probably have taken a selfie. Hashtag Maldives Lives Entrepreneurship. Life matters. Entrepreneurship is the way to go. You don't understand what I'm doing there. You see, one thing about social media, it gives us a lot of pressure that you feel like Mary Ben has all these words, so she has all her life figured out, and you're like, I want to be like her. Or you look at AJ, you say he's running NTEEP, he has sponsors, and everything is working out for him. Trust you me. One of the things I always say about entrepreneurship, I say entrepreneurship is a scam, because the first thing you're being told, if you become an entrepreneur, you're gonna have all the time for yourself. Trust you me, it's a lie. You'll only have 4 hours of sleep or 3 hours, and at times 2 hours of sleep. So why is mental health important to us as entrepreneurs? So as entrepreneurs, our mental health is important because of managing a business means working with diverse minds, and hence the need to be in good mindset for you to pull your you need to be in good mindset for you to pull your team together to drive the business agenda. And each time when I talk about mental health in organization, I always say, if you have a toxic working environment or work ethics, you're not going to perform. And mental health starts with you as an entrepreneur or as a leader. I always say there's a difference again between a leader and a leader and a boss. A leader helps his team, or rather, works with his team to make a difference. But a boss keeps on directing them and is just seated there. And bosses make the life of their employees hell, literally. So, as an entrepreneur, it is very, very much important for you to have a stable mindset, a stable mental health, so you can lead your team in the right direction. If there is a crisis, you are able to manage it. You're not just going to the office, you're shouting at people, you're yelling, you're calling them names until they're so scared to get into the office. When your colleagues or your see you coming into the office, don't get excited. They're just there for the money and not for work. And that's why you see, probably if you're that kind of an employee, an employer, that's why you see your business keeps on staggering and people are leaving day in, day out, because you don't have a very good working environment. Why do we need our mental health to be stable? The work or business should not be a source of pressure or stress, since it's a passion you have chosen. One thing I train on entrepreneurship, and I tell people, when you want to do a business, when you choose to be an entrepreneur, do something that you love. You don't have to like everything about it, but you love it. And when I say you don't have to like, I mean, I am a speaker. I love speaking. I love helping people understand mental health. But putting up the hours to study, to come up with the PowerPoint and do all that, trust you me, it can be very crazy. You have to read different books. Some are contradicting each other, and you have to be in a sane mindset to just understand what is right, and there's some of the things you're going to talk about or I'm going to talk about that is contradicting to what the society has taught you. And there are those people who will feel like I'm depriving them, or I'm trying to come and change their mindset in regards to their own value. And you see, it's not something that is likable, but in as much as that, I love what I'm doing. So let your business be the source of your happiness, but not stress. Stress is part of it. There are days that you're up here as an entrepreneur, you're making good investments, good returns, profit is high, and there are days you move from zero, from up here to zero. You sleep a billionaire and you wake up bankrupt. So another point is stress is the inability to manage your own system, your body. It is important to take time off work, exercise, rechannel your emotions and energy towards the right path. This is very important. I have been a victim of this. And I always say I've always been a victim of this when it comes to business. We have government regulations, we have labor law regulations. Each and every time our government comes up with new minimum wage, and it's not something that we've planned for it. So there are days you wake up, you don't feel like working, and when you go to work in that state, you mess up everyone. So at times it is not even at times, it is important to take time off and work. And this part is where I want to challenge us today. If you see that your business cannot survive 1 week without you, then you're not an entrepreneur, you are a business person. An entrepreneur's business needs to survive even for 6 months without them being in the system. So you need to challenge yourself. How are you going to build it that when you're there or you're not there, the business still runs? Another point is, if you're not effectively and timely handled, stress affects your mental health, your mental well-being. One of the major causes of stress for entrepreneurs is being indecisive, where you decide not to act on an issue affecting your mental well-being. This issue now surrounds our family, our finances, our friends, our clients. You don't know, you're not ready to let go of that friend who you employed, and you feel like people will start speaking. What will people say kind of mentality or mindset? Now, your family wants you to use the business money or the company money to sustain them. How do you balance that? You're not able to balance it. Why? Now, your family needs it, and being in an African setup, you're told you're not taking care of your family. That business, if you don't take care of them, you're gonna lose it. This is gonna happen. If you don't pay this amount in church, this is what is going to happen. The devil is going to attack you. We have a lot of things that is being said, and we are not able to understand it. And that's why I always tell people, life is simple, is very simple, but we complicate it. We complicate it by trying to solve all these things at a go. But it's not supposed to be like that. You need to start solving one thing at a time and be able to be in a sober state to make a decision. I always tell people, and even my own family and my employees, when it comes to work, when it comes to business, it's business. Let's deal business to business. Not business to family, not business to friends. No, this is business to business. People say money is not everything, but money doesn't bring happiness. Trust you me, money gives happiness. In that, look at what happened in Turkey. A lot of people are fundraising for them. And if you have that money, you are able to give to the affected victims in Turkey and Syria, and they're going to be happy that somebody else has remembered them. Is that not happiness? It is happiness. The issue is how we entrepreneurs handle the money. Okay, so let us go to the next statistics of mental health. Entrepreneurs are 50% more likely to experience mental health conditions. These are conditions such as bipolar, schizophrenia, depression. We've seen a lot of entrepreneurs who've suffered from bipolar. People don't even understand, even schizophrenia. And we associate it with witchcraft because we're in Africa. We are saying this person was or had someone else had a hand in it. Yes, probably we can say it's 50-50. There are those probably who under witchcraft cult, but there are those who have undergone maximum stress to a point of them going through schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, some of us may not understand. Schizophrenia are the people you see walking the streets, or rather, in quotes, the madmen. Bipolar are people who you one time you just see them, they are very happy, you're talking, you're celebrating. The next minute they're just cold, very cold towards you. That is bipolar. Depression, we've seen it. There's a difference between depression and stress. Stress are the kind of things we go through on a daily basis, whereby you wake up in the morning, you don't have enough cash, or probably an employee has done this and all that. It's something you get through within a couple of hours or within a day or two. But depression, I always tell people, depression is a state whereby your mind goes dark. It goes dark not for a month, not for 2 months. It goes dark even for more than a year, more than 2 years, 3 years, more than 6 months, whereby the only thing you see is darkness. The only language you understand is how to die by suicide. The only language you understand is you walk in a room, everything doesn't make sense. You start withdrawing from people. You no longer want to take shower. I tell people, don't judge when you see someone who hates taking a shower. Investigate it very well. Probably the person is suffering from depression. Depression makes people don't shower, they don't sleep, they don't eat, they don't act like they used to act. They are so withdrawn, or they are very overactive, overperformance. It varies in different individuals. There are those who will start overworking and they want to achieve these goals and they don't take a minute to just breathe. And then there are those who withdraw completely. They lock themselves in the house. They prefer darkness. That is depression. So they are 2 times more likely to experience the depression, 6 times more likely to develop ADHD. I'm actually a victim of depression and ADHD. Here, it's not our fault as entrepreneurs. You get into entrepreneurship when you're full, you're okay, your mental state, your physical health is okay. But when you get to this, because you're dealing with so many things, you want to solve issues in your community, issues in your family, our government, finances, and all this, all that battles up within you, and it is only one person who needs to solve it. But at the end, I will help us to see how do we handle all this. Now, ADHD is someone you notice they want everything to be in order. You might feel they're perfectionists. When they see something, they don't like how the money, they don't like if something is not put in order, they'll always try to remove them and just put them in the exact place. 3 times more likely to have substance abuse problems. You will see a lot of entrepreneurs drinking alcohol. They drown themselves into alcohol or weed or other kush, and they try to drown their sorrows because they feel nobody else will understand their problem. 10 times more likely to suffer from bipolar disorders, 2 times more likely to experience suicide thoughts. This, I always say, 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs suffer suicide thoughts. 2 times more likely to end up in a psychiatrist hospital. Yes, that is always 2 or 3 out of 10 do that. Causes of mental health, stress and lack of understanding, and resources for stress management. We always say, we will handle this. That is African for you. This, I will handle it. We don't want to go for stress management. We feel like it is not for us. Uncertainty, not knowing what the future holds. I always get scared of that, whereby you wake up in the morning and you see this market recession or inflation and you get so scared, you don't know what will happen next. Will your business still stand or wither the storm? One thing I want to tell you is, out of 100% businesses that were formed or rather will be formed this year, 90 out of 100%, 90% will fail. 10% will go to the second year. Now, most businesses or startup fail the third year and the fifth year. So if you overcome the seventh year, you are ready to further, or rather to weather any storm that comes your way. That's why I tell people, never be in a rush to build an empire very fast. Take your time, build the foundation, make a lot of mistakes in the foundation. If you're looking forward to build a business that will be in the stock market, or one of the longest standing company, or a family business, you take your time to build the foundation. Close all the loopholes. It's gonna be messy, it's tiring, but that is one of the major ways you gonna enjoy in the future. Predisposition to mental health challenges. Now, here a lot of people end up, now you're grouping yourselves, you pick your friends, you want to go drinking, partying every now and then, just to avoid speaking about your problems. And you feel like, no, Mary Ben is attacking us, this is the life we want to live, this is what we're gonna do. No. Another cause is identity and self-worth. Become fused with your business. Now, we cannot separate you from your business. And that is one of the mistakes I did. I became Greensill, Greensill became Marybeth. And each and every time my mentor would tell me, you need to separate the two, I used to feel that it is me. Greensill is me. Pest control is me. And that is one of the mistakes a lot of people make. You become so infused with your business, you become one thing that if your business go down, you cannot be rescued. You go down with your business. Or when you go down, your business cannot be rescued. You go down with your business. And that's why you see when a lot of business people or entrepreneurs pass, even their businesses go with them, because they were infused. And if you can remember what I said in the preamble, you need to be able to separate the two, go for holiday, do something else, and let your business run. Social isolation. This is one thing that entrepreneurs love the most. You're always isolated. You want to come up with new prototype, you want to come up with a new tech, you're trying to solve this, you're trying to come up with this app. I'm trying to look at myself, how am I going to be the best pest control company within East Africa? How am I going to be this, do that? And you become so isolated. You're ever working. You work in the office. You come home. Probably you have a family. You don't have time to bond with them. Why? You're still working, and this we have to deal with it. Exceeding expectations, this is one of the problems we have, and I always teach people in goal settings, you need to take 3 to 4 goals, and the goals, let them be aligned with these other goals that you need. When we don't exceed our expectations, we start beating ourselves down. Why did I not do this? I am a failure. I cannot amount to anything. What will people say? I thought by the end of the year I will be driving my own Range Rover, or I'll be driving a V8. Look at other people. I am still here. I don't understand. I've lost billions of money or millions of money. Now, stop that. There are days we will exceed our expectations, put it high, but if you don't hit it, we have managed to exceed something. We've just passed another expectation that we never thought we had. And it's something that makes it amazing. Now, impression management. Now, this is where there's something in Kenya we always say kupiga luku. Now, kupiga luku, it means you have to dress sharp. You see, when you want to now start impressing your friends, impressing other people, other business moguls, you want to be like them. Yet, you're not that position. We always say, don't let the people who are eating their harvest influence you to eat your own, your seed. These people have been in the business for the longest time, 10 years, 20 years, but you're just starting. And you want to impress the whole village, you want to impress the whole town, you want to be the talk of town. And each and every time you do that, you start losing yourself, because you're living under a lot of pressure. You cannot use a bus. Why? Because so and so will see you. You cannot eat in that restaurant, because somebody else will feel like, why are you eating in this restaurant? We've all gone through it. I've gone through it. Before I understood my mental state, I suffered depression for 6 years. I had 5 times suicide attempts, and I survived under antidepressants for 4 years. And I took a moment back and I asked myself, what am I doing this? Who am I doing it for? And I realized I'm doing it for wrong reasons. I'm doing it to please other people and not to please me and not to take care of me. And I took a back step and I said, Mary Ben, I need to take care of me. And as much as we are doing business and as much as we want to take care of the community, if I can't do this today, I can't. And I tell people, if I'm not able to assist, if I'm not able to show up, if I'm not able to afford this or that, I leave it. I learned to live within my means. And today I want to tell you on this impression management, learn to live within your means. Literally, be it with friends, be it with family, live, be it with business, live within the means. Don't go above it. How to be effective? How do you become effective in your line of business so that you can stay in the right mindset? Getting paid for something you created. That is psychological. Now, if you are a photographer, get paid for the beautiful photos you're taking of other people. Get paid for telling another person's story. We tell stories through the photography. Get paid through that. If you're an IT specialist, get paid for that website. Get paid for something that you're doing. If you don't get paid for it, you're going to be exhausted and you're not going to enjoy what you're doing. Business that supports itself. That is safety. I had spoke about it in the preamble. It's safety. Build a business that supports itself. One thing we fear as entrepreneurs is building a business, training someone, and you feel like this person will go. Good. The person will go. You need to understand that human beings were never born or created to be stagnant in one position. That person will not be able to run the business with you for the longest time, but build someone, at least when you're not there, they are able to run the business, and then build a business that supports itself, not a business that is dependent on you. A business that supports itself. If you're doing production, is it, if you're doing cosmetic production, are they able to support itself? Is it able to support itself? Yes. You create a system, you train people to do it, and if somebody else steals the idea, it's okay. They will steal the idea, but they can never steal the glory behind it. You see, but train other people to run your business. Great business relationship, love and belonging. Have a community of entrepreneurs whereby you people meet up once a month or once a week. You sit down, you talk about business challenges, laugh about it. There were seasons that my house was always being locked on a monthly basis, and I would sleep at the rooftop. I would sleep at the rooftop. I don't have clothes to change. I don't have anywhere to spend. And I would stay there, stay out, try to talk to the house agent. They would refuse. And I would make sure every single time they do that, though I would cry and I would feel like I need to get employment, but I had to push through. Now that is the beauty of entrepreneurship. You see, so I started creating business relationship whereby we meet once in a while, once a month, or be it physical or virtual, and we laugh about our problems. Someone states about how they've not had food or decent food within a week, and I'll be like, you're lucky. I've been locked out of the house for a whole week. I've been sleeping at the rooftop where guys are hanging clothes. So I would go pick on their bed sheets, take their carpets, put it down there at night, cover myself, sleep. If it rains, we still call it a blessing. But you see, when you laugh about our problems and you share it, you realize you're building a bond around yourselves. And you realize it will only get easy when you die. But as long as you're alive, all of us grow through a challenge. And it doesn't kill us. You see, excellence in your business. I love this. And I tell people, you want to set up a business, be the best cosmetic seller, be the best photographer, be the best IT company, be the best pest control company. And this will not cost you much. I always say it's self actualization. Ask yourself, how would you feel if this photographer would treat you or would set your photos or you would edit your photos? How would you feel? How do you want it to be edited? Then that is the answer for you to be a better business person. Another question you ask for you to excel in your business. Another question I ask myself, how do I want to feel when someone comes to fumigate my house? So That feeling is how I create the business. How do I want to stand out? What kind of marketing am I doing? You see, you start building you start customizing your marketing based on emotions, how people would react to it. And it builds your self esteem when you see someone refer another person to your business, or when you see someone, you hear someone making a random statement, positive statement about your business. It builds your self esteem. Purpose and legacy, self actualization. What legacy do you want to leave behind? Do you want to be someone will just say he was corrupt, he created business, died with his business? Or are you living a business that is going to take care of your community? I tell entrepreneurs, build a business that is going to take care of your community, not only you. Build a business, give a service that is going to take care of your community. So this gives you an idea of building your purpose, your legacy. And let me give you an assignment, and it's gonna sound a bit weird, but I'll give it in two directions so you can see there's no weirdness in this. Today or this week, before the week ends, today is on Friday and tomorrow is on Saturday. Sit down and write your own eulogy. Yes, you heard me right. Write your eulogy. What do you want to be read on your burial date, or on the day you're getting married? What do you want to be read about you? How do you want it to be said? Do you want people to lie about who you are? Or do you want them to say the truth, the legacy, the life you've transformed, the guys you've employed, the community you've changed, and the people, and how you've taken care of your family, and the kind of people you want to show up for your burial? Or do you want just to leave a hospital bill? Your family is not able to afford it. You wasted your life, you wasted your business and everything. Write your eulogy. And if you're scared about writing your eulogy, then picture yourself, you're celebrating your 50th birthday or your retirement. And on your retirement, your organization has organized a bash for you or a party. Write the kind of people you want in your party. Do you want ministers? Do you want international guests? Do you want the most, do you want influencers? Or do you want the social media influencers, or the politicians, or the business moguls, or international relation people who you've interacted with them internationally, to come for your burial? Do you want them to say he or she transformed this kind of people, this is what she did for the society, she built a school, she did this, she did that, or he did this, he did that? And where do you want it to be held? What kind of a home setup? Do you want it to be held in a five-star hotel or a high-end hotel, or in a community setup? Or do you want it to be held in your own ranch, where you have your horses or you have your farm animals and you're there? Now, why am I telling you to do that? It will be able to help you build your purpose and your legacy as an entrepreneur. It will be able to help you to understand where do you want to be, how are you going to achieve the end goal, so that people don't lie in your funeral, or people don't lie in your party, so that they don't want you to feel bad, yet you traumatize them, yet you are corrupt and all that. No. Write what you want, or probably your product destroyed them. No. Write what you want to succeed. Write what you want to see, or what you want it to be read. Now that helps you to also create your autobiography. You see, it helps you to come up with your autobiography. Now, on to our next slide. Tools that you need to succeed. And this is always the best part for me. How do you want to succeed as an entrepreneur? I tell people you need three people in your life. You had me right. Three people. Number one, you need a mentor. A mentor is someone who is able to talk to you, understand, and give you directive of how you should do your business, how you should go about it, how what you need to achieve. And let me put here a disclaimer. One thing about us entrepreneurs, or rather one thing about us young people, we always feel because you've grown, or you've succeeded to be much more than your mentor, so you break out of your mentor. Now the whole world knows you, the whole world hears about you, listens to your video, use your product. Now you stop working with your mentor, someone who has made you to be in that position. He calls you, you don't pick. He sends people your way, you don't want to associate with them because they are not known as you're known. Wrong. Your mentor is not meant to be known in the entire world. No. In fact, for me as Mary Ben, I had my mentor. I met my mentor when I was broken. I was literally broken. My business was, I was about to sell my business. I could not afford my rent at that time. I could not afford food, clothes. I was very dirty. I would walk for miles because there was nothing that was happening. Nothing was working. A lot of my friends who were with in business, they literally saw me as a dead stock and they didn't want to associate with me, including my family was worried. What am I doing? Though I even suggested I just go back to my rural place. But he saw the beauty of it. He saw where I need to be. So I am in the media. I travel across Africa. I attend all this. But one thing I'll tell you, if my mentor says that I don't need to be in that function, I will not go. Even if I'm being paid a million bob, he says I don't go, I will not go. Right now, I have over 10 mentees sent to him, sent to me by him. Why? You need to remain humble. This person sees where you need to be and he helps you, or rather, he crafts you to be there. You need a coach. A coach is there to just listen. He's there to tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. Where you go wrong, you go back to the coach and you ask him, how do I go about this? Majority of the coach, you will not have any relationship with them, and when I say relationship, there's no that close friendship. They will not understand you as a mentor will understand you. I always say mentors are always our father figures and our mother figures, people who wants to take us in that direction. A coach will be there for a short time or a long season, but they will not go in the same direction as a mentor. You need a therapist. One thing about us, we always say, I cannot go see a shrink. Trust you me, as an entrepreneur, you need a therapist. You need someone that you will be able to whine to and they will not judge you. Someone who will be able to tell you and see things in a different perspective. Me, you and I as entrepreneurs, probably there's something we will see it in the same perspective, and the decision we will make probably might mess us up. But a therapist will sit down and tell you, you know what, you need to handle your family business like this. Don't mix it with work. You need your family and you need to handle your employees like this. You need to handle this and this, your spouse like this, or you need to handle this upcoming business like this. A lot of us fall without us knowing. You get into business the first year or the second year, you make a lot of money. The third year, you lose all of them and you can't stand. Get a therapist, someone you will talk to once a month. There are those who might do it for free, there are those who might charge you, but this helps you. Two, remember your why. Why did you start that business? Why are you in that field? Why are you called Mary Ben? Why are you a mental health advocate? Why are you a speaker? Why are you coming up with website? Why are you an IT person? Why are you a photographer? If your why is just to make money, then you're in the wrong place. But if your why is to satisfy something, change something about it, it's making you happy, satisfied, then go ahead. Always remember your why. Your why will make you walk in the right direction. Your why will make you not to be a corrupt individual. Your why will make you to make high quality products and not substandard products just to make money. Your why will understand and put caution for probably health, excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health. That understands your why. Develop a self-care package. How do you develop that? How often do you go out? How often do you take yourself to the beach? How often do you tell yourself, today I just want to do a road trip? How often do you tell yourself, today let me go have the best meal? How often do you go for a massage? Or how often do you go for your manicure and pedicure? How often do you tell your boys, you know what, man, let's go have a bonding time? How often do you just take care of yourself? You just want to please you. You want to buy yourself a present. You want to do this. You've been doing all that for every other person. You're taking care of business. How often do you do that? You need to come up with the self care package. Another thing, value yourself. Be kind to yourself. When I say value, be kind to yourself. You know, look at how you talk to yourself when you're alone, when you've called a meeting between you and you, and you're there, you're telling yourself, you know what, I'm good for nothing. I am worthless. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. Do you tell that to your loved ones? Do you speak that to someone that you care about? Trust me, the way you talk to yourself is not how we talk to other people. We become kind to other people, but we become harsh to ourselves. If the entire world passes, you're the only person you're gonna have. So every day in the morning when you wake up, that is always my routine. I wake up, I stretch after prayers, and I tell myself, Mary Ben, I love you. You're the best thing on this earth. It is just me and you, and we are gonna succeed. And trust me, when you value yourself and somebody else comes and tells you you're a failure, you're stupid, you will not understand their words. When I start insulting you in my language, in probably Luo or Swahili, and you don't understand it, and I'm there yelling, running up and down, you will laugh, feeling that I am a madman or I'm a mad woman. That's how you will react. It is the same thing when you value yourself, you put the right words in yourself, within yourself. And when other people are running around yelling, insulting you, the words there, it will be irrelevant. You see, it will not make sense. Okay? So you need to develop that. You need to have self value. And when you develop self value, even your own business cannot bring you down. It will not give you mental disorder. Why? Because now you've understood your business and what needs to be done in the business itself. So you will start learning your business more and more. Find your support network. Which kind of people do you want to associate with? You don't need 100, no. You just need three, four, or five people who you're able to support yourselves. And this is in line with everything, your finances, your family, your business, and everything that concerns you. These are people who you will be able to talk together and find a solution, not gossiping. I always say gossiping is good as long as you're gossiping about money. But these are people who are able to support you. Okay? Stop comparing yourself. Now, because you're seeing this, you want to be like this person. No, every other person is taken. Be you. Love you. Every day, wake up in the morning and knowing you're the best. Just compare the person you were yesterday. If you have to compare someone, and if you have to look down on yourself, look down at the person you were yesterday, and not today. And this will give you a motivation of building yourself up every single day. This will give you the motivation. Don't compare yourself. Be you. Create your own path. Create your own path. We all have different paths crossing, going around the world. Now that tells you you still also have to create your own path. The me time is still like developing a self-care package. Set your priorities, not tasks. Have priorities right. What do you want? When you've been writing down tasks, things to do today, you'll always have a priority of what you want to do. Set that priority. If your priority is to be happy, be happy. If your priority is to make that money, but with the limitation in terms of don't let it cost you your mental health. Okay. On to our last, that was actually our last slide, sorry. Now, one thing that I want to remind you guys, and I want to teach you this, is that for the 6 years I was mentally disturbed. I was mentally broken. There's one thing I learned. There's something I used to learn on my healing journey, was that a lot of times I remember every time I wanted to do something, I was always being told, "What will people say? What will people think about you? How are they going to react?" And it kept on breaking me. I would feel so embarrassed, and it limited me so much. And there are times I remember when I said I'm setting out the cleaning company, the pest control company. A lot of people told me you cannot do it in Nairobi. You need to go back to the rural areas where there's no competition. You can start from there. And a lot of us have suffered from such words. And I remembered I told myself, who believes in me? It's me and God. We believe in God and God believes in us. Now, the ideas you have in your mind, or rather in your head, they are not only your ideas, they're ideas that they were given to you by your supreme being, and it tells you you're well capable of doing it. So take the first step, do it. You see, do it. Go ahead and do it. At times, the words that people have spoken, they have built, they have made us be in this cocoon that we are not able to take the next step. But if you can dust off yourself, remove all the words that people have said, and tell yourself that you're going to make it and you're not going to be stopped by any mental health disorders, you're going to do it. Okay. And I want to thank you for this session, and I want to take it back to AJ. In case of any questions, he will raise it up. Thank you for your time. AJ.
Thank you so very much, Ambassador Mary. That was great. I mean, when you talked about we picking a pen and write out how we would like to be remembered, that was something I thought it's very important as an entrepreneur. Why? What do you really want to be remembered? I just confirm you can hear me. Yes. Okay. Thank you. It's important for us to know what really we would like to remember, and I think most people when they miss that, then everything goes south. But it's good to really, I really learned a lot of myself that others also had a great time. Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. We do have a question. This one is coming from.
Mr. AJ seems to have a technical problem with his internet connection right now, so I'm sure he will be back soon. So thanks for your patience.
Sorry.
Okay, so maybe I'll start with one of the questions for now. The question is from, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your name not as it should be, Naima Farmers and Kenya. And the question is, what are root causes of stress in entrepreneurs?
Number one root cause. Actually, entrepreneurs have only one root of stress is money. If you see an entrepreneur who doesn't have money, whether the employees are being stubborn or They are not performing well, they'll always change. But our major root cause, number one, is money. Money in terms of funding. Do we have enough? Have we received any funding to run our business? Are we able to execute what we need to execute? Are we able to sort our bills? Are we able to change our bills? And that's why you see if an entrepreneur is not able to make enough funds, they leave entrepreneurship, go to employment. And even you see guys in career, they might want to stay in a toxic environment just to make, or rather to earn the money so they can sort their bills. So one of our problems, or rather the main challenge, is just our finances. Just give us a, let's give AJ a minute to take a note.
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. We have, I think you just responded to the question from Rakula, right? That was the question you asked. You answered? Okay. Are we still together? Can you hear me? Okay. Um,
I would also like to add on something.
yes,
I
go on.
can I can hear an echo.
Okay. This,
Another major cause of stress on entrepreneurs is also competition, and this is competition based on you get you've started a product, the next person next to you is also doing the same product, so this gives entrepreneurs much more stress. They don't even know how to handle that. If and one of the things I normally tell them is, when you're coming up with your business prototype, make sure you have a unique preposition in it, that even when this other person, your neighbor or somebody else you know, is coming up with the same business, you're very unique. And the other time in our previous discussions, I remembered I said the difference between an entrepreneur and a business person is what game changer you bring, or what's the game changer of your business. Because every other person is a business person. There's no new business in the market, everything has been there. So, how are you going to change it? So, in order for you to the number two stress, which is competition, come up with something different, bring up a unique value proposition. Okay.
we have another question. This one is from Andy, and he or she said, how can you know if your employees are mentally stable to run your business?
Okay. There are so many ways you can understand. Number one, when you look at your employee and you see that all of a sudden this employee is becoming very productive, overly productive. They don't want to go home early. They're always in the office. They're the first person to reach in the office and the last people to leave, and very overproductive. Yet, this hasn't been their character since they started work, and you've not given them any warnings before they've been performing well, but all of a sudden there's a change, or rather there's a shift. This person is mentally unstable. Number two, when this person starts to withdraw, you look at their production level. There's this employee who's used to perform very well, but all of a sudden their production level is going down. They don't feel motivated. They are so very degenerated in terms of business, even their outfit, even their own personal hygiene. And when I talk about their personal hygiene, in as much as there's a time I mentioned that, when a lot of people who are there are people who, when they're depressed, they don't shower, you see, and it happens. They feel like water literally chokes them. But you can get this employee, even their own physical appearance, they are so unkept and they are always zoning out. This person is mentally disturbed. And let me put a caution: when you notice that your employee is mentally disturbed, don't fire them. You see, this has been their home. The same way they also have a home back at home. So what do? You work with them. And I normally tell employers, you are not able to handle their mental health. Just look for someone, look for a professional to help them walk down that path. You see, another thing is always absent. And when you ask them what is the problem, they have a million and one excuses. Or this employee is ever drunk 24/7. They come to the office drunk, they leave office drunk, their work is just to drink. In as much as they're performing, their work is always to drink. Probably chances are they're trying to drink their problem out. They're literally trying to drink their problem out. So you need to find a solution for them. Once in a while, if you have more than 5 employees, once in a while, once a month or twice, once within 2 months, just get a mental health person. Let them come talk to them just for an hour. It will not cost you much, or you can get someone who's doing it on pro bono. Let them talk to your employees. And even probably you might be the cause of your employees' stress. You might be putting them on a lot of pressure, and you don't affirm them. We are all human beings. We need someone to just tell me, Mary Ben, congratulations. Mary Ben, I am proud of you. Or AJ, I'm smart. AJ, I'm proud of you. AJ, this what you've done is good. Not every single time you're always being negative towards them. You're always yelling at them. It lowers their esteem. It lowers down their morale. And micromanaging also makes the business fail. It kills your employees, whereby you want to know what time did the employee come to the office, what time did they leave, what time did they break for lunch, what time did they drink coffee, what time did they do this. Are they performing well? Yes. Are they exceeding expectations? Yes. Don't micromanage them. You had employed them to exceed expectations. You had employed them to create a game change in the business. Are they able to do all that? Yes. And also, how do you put words across? I always say, there's something I had suffered. I did quit employment almost 8 years now. And I remembered I used to have one of our bosses in one of the organization I worked in. I felt like he just hated me naturally. And he would come to the office. The first person he would start yelling at is me. Oh, Maribel, this and this, Maribel, that and that, Maribel. And each and every time I would see him, I would freak out. I would not perform. My performance went very low. And when I was asked by the HR, and I explained to the HR what is happening. So at times it's not only about our employees, it's also about us as employers. Are we creating a conducive environment for them? Do we just want to yell at them, talk, and not even anything to motivate them? At times, once in a while, motivate your employees, buy them lunch or buy them drinks, let them go have fun, get to understand them. And we have also this culture of you just going to say, tell, are you getting to the office, good morning, and then you go. But there's someone who is suffering. Make it a culture whereby you go, sit down on their desk, and just ask them, good morning, how are you? How is your family? How is everything? Are you okay? Do you take care of yourself? Do you feel better? Some of them might open up and tell you this and this has been happening and I need assistance. I always say when you're building your business, build a home whereby everyone will always want to work with you and see the company succeed. Thank you. We can't hear you.
You should hear me now. Is that okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that wonderful response. We have another question. We will be taking just maybe three or more questions or so. So, Faisal Yusuf is asking, he or she said, as an entrepreneur, I often work long hours and find it difficult to disconnect and take a break. Now he's asking, what are some practical tips for setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care as an entrepreneur?
Oh, yes. I am also a victim of that. I work for long hours. I'm a night raven, or rather, I'm a night owl. I work best at night. So one thing I decided to do was, I'm working all this and I'm trying to earn all this. Let me say it in one of the harshest ways possible. If you die today, you will leave it behind, right? Nobody else will put such effort that you're putting in right now. So I tell people, you need to set boundaries. And that boundaries, I cannot tell you how to do it. It's self infliction. It's you to tell yourself, today I need to work for only 5 hours, or 6 hours, or 10 hours at most. And I'm going to take 2 hours to walk around, 2 hours to get something to eat, 2 hours to work out, 2 hours to probably watch a movie, 2 hours to sleep. Sleep is very important, and sleep is always a sickness. When I say sleep is a sickness, is I remember there's a time I hadn't slept. I worked all night, slept at 4 a.m., and by 6 a.m. I needed to I was in a meeting in one of the government officials office. I had to be there. I had only slept for 1 hour, and the meeting ran the whole day. It took me, I saw the worst experience, because when I stood up to go to the bathroom, I collapsed. Why? Because my system was off. And you see, I'm doing all this, but if I die today, nobody will put the same effort like the way I have put the same effort. Not everyone shares my same vision. And that's why I even said earlier, help someone to be able to run with your business. Now, what you need to do is you need to set the boundaries yourself. Prioritize what you want to do. What do you love doing? Do you work from Monday to Monday? Do you give yourself weekend off? Probably you can work that hard during the week, but do you give yourself weekend off? Work Monday and Sunday. Let it be about you and your family, or you and you alone. No business calls, no nothing. If it's urgent, let them send an email. I have a rule: you can't call me past 8 p.m. Unless it's family, you can never call me past 8 p.m. That is the last time someone can call me. Past 8 p.m., I don't pick calls. I'll respond to WhatsApp messages if it is very important. I do gauge, I look at it. Is it important? No. Is it something I can respond tomorrow? Yes. I don't respond it. And I am not sorry about that, because this is now me taking care of my health. This is now me declustering my mind and being able to think. There are times we always think that when you're working so hard, you're achieving much, but those times when you're working so hard, your brain doesn't have a minute to breathe and start creating new ideas. So give yourself time. Tell yourself, from 9 p.m., I'm not going to do anything with work unless it's a deadline. If it doesn't have a deadline, is it something that I can finish tomorrow? Yes, go ahead. From 8 p.m., do I need to pick calls from people? No, unless it's family. And if it is friends, unless it is urgent, life and death, you pick it. If it is not life and death, don't pick it. I learned that from my mentor. And as much as he's my mentor, there are days from Friday, you can never get him on call till Monday. And I realized it was making me even more productive. So you need to set boundaries for yourself. There's no mechanism. It is you to create it for yourself. Be mean. I said self-care is not selfishness. Take care of yourself. Set that boundary. Tell yourself, you wanna go swimming, go. You wanna take a break, walk the dog, or just interact with other people, do it. It will help you look at life, or see life, or even have a different perspective of your business or something that was bothering you. When you're relaxed, taking a walk, the ideas that are coming at that time, there are many. There are a lot of ideas. That is the time you're able to think better, unlike when you're seated and working. Thank you.
Very much for doing justice to that question. We'll be taking our last question. There are a lot of other questions, but we are so sorry we won't be able to take all of them because of time. You can always use the Africa's Business platform to share your questions, and we'll do our best to respond to those questions. Use the Telegram if you can access the Africa's Business. Of course, there are emails that are already sent, so please use those platforms to share these questions, and I'm sure our amazing speaker would be happy to respond to them. Uh, Jeff said, the stages of stress upgrades to depression and graduate to madness. I think that's the question. He or she want to know if stress can upgrade to depression and eventually become madness. Does that happen?
Yes, yes, it does. You see, before you get into that state of depression, you will never move from just being normal today to waking up into depression. The first stage is always the alarm stage, which is when the central nervous system, I hope you will able to relate with it, which is the central nervous system is awakened. It's causing the body defense to assemble. You start blocking every other person. You see, you start blocking everything when people are talking to you. No, at this time, your system is now building resistance. It's resistance. This is like an SOS. You know, like when your phone sends an SOS, first it's a warning. It triggers the warning. If your phone is gonna lock down in 5 seconds or in 3 seconds. Now that is the alarm stage. Now, when you start noticing that, the alarm stage is when you notice you're starting to withdraw from people. You don't want to eat. You don't want to talk. You want to just be alone. You start feeling sorry for everything you're going through, even something that is not your fault. You start feeling sorry. Then the next stage is the resistance stage, whereby you want now to start resisting everything. Your body begins, it will not repair itself. It begins to shut down. um, you start feeling like you're getting congested. I remember I used to have a lot of that. You start feeling like your chest is becoming congested and you can't breathe properly. um, you start feeling like heart rate is moving very fast or your heart is beating very fast. You start feeling like you'll get depression. You're not depression, you're gonna get heart attack. You start getting dizzy. You start having very faint. You start feeling faint, like you wanna um, faint and all that. Then the third stage is the exhaustion stage, whereby now you're just tired, whereby the first two stages now they are executed. You're tired. You don't want to interact with people. You don't want to be seen anywhere. You don't want anyone to even talk to you. You see, you're just there completely. And one of the when you get to the exhaustion stage, it now continues to break you down. You start feeling sorry. You start feeling like when you see people talk and laugh, you feel like they're laughing at you, they're talking about you, yet it's not even about you. Now you want to start secluding yourself. You see, this is when you start having diseases like you start getting stress, ulcers, um, migraines. A lot of people, I used to suffer so much on migraines. Now other diseases now start coming in. Now it starts changing, even the way your brain starts working. When you see all this, just know now you're getting into the depression level, because now you will even start um, being addicted to substance, like I spoke earlier. You're now deep into substance abuse. You're secluding yourself and you start looking at every opportunity as a dying opportunity. So when you start feeling about all that, take a break, seek help, talk to someone. Or the best technique about it is fall in love with yourself. One of the tricks I give people is if you're with your partner and your partner is unwell, you take care of them so much. so much. You make sure you give them food, you take them to the hospital, they get medical attention. You always call to check up on them. Now that is the thing you need to start doing for yourself. When you notice you're getting stressed, treat yourself like the way you treat your partner. Start falling in love with you. Take yourself to the hospital, take medication, take a break from work if you have to, and just be you. Fall in love with yourself. When you fall in love with yourself so much, you will not let depression get, or rather stress, get to the level of depression. I tell people one of the elements we miss in terms of mental health is self love. Fall in love with yourself completely. And when I say self love, I don't just mean the normal self love you say, you tell yourself, oh, I'm putting on a nice outfit. No. Self love to a point that you question yourself when you're about to call yourself a name. If you're about to say, I'm so stupid, you will not say it. You will question yourself. Why am I referring myself to someone stupid? I am not stupid. You will start being kind. You will notice this is not an environment that I need to be. You will be able to dictate how you walk, how you eat, how you sleep, the people you associate with, the people who love you. How do they love you? Do they love you the way you want to be loved? You cannot dictate how someone should love you, but you can tolerate it. Now, that is what happens when it comes to understanding the journey of stress. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Mary Ben. We are so honored to have you joining today. That has been a wonderful session. Left to me, we can continue until the next 1 hour again. Fortunately, we would have to close from there. But like I've said, there are a lot of other platforms as we have made available mentorship platforms where you can connect with these mentors and get personal mentoring. You're welcome to do that on all the platforms. Africa's Business, you also have the Telegram page. Um, these platforms, please take advantage of them to connect with the mentors. I saw a lot of people have been asking how they will connect with the mentors. You can easily do that to connect with them on those platforms. Thank you once again, Ambassador. Her profile remains on the Intel. Please go through. She has a lot of awards that you can read in the next 30 minutes. You will not finish them. Also, her experience in business and also mental health expert. You want to definitely connect with her to learn more on how you can be more productive in your business. We have Mrs. Ursula, you have first word as we round up.
Yeah, so thank you very much for the presentation and also the Q&A part. I learned a lot, and I think it's very helpful, especially also not even to recognize it with ourselves if we should face some challenges and yeah, what to do, but then also how to actually see it in other people, and that we will be able to do even something for them to help them and talk about it with them. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. On that note, my name remains AJ, and I want to say thank you all for joining in today. I hope you had a great time because this is a topic you don't get to see anywhere, just anywhere. This is a unique topic, and this is what we all suffer as entrepreneurs. And I hope this session was helpful. Fortunately, today we couldn't have Jessica. I don't want to say unfortunate because she's on assignment, so she was not able to join in. But on Monday she would be here with us. So we look forward to all of this session today. We look forward to have you join in on Monday next week. Enjoy your weekend and please be safe. That will be it from us, and bye for now.